Hello my sexy chap, I am the Cube Muppet. Today, I am going to read another creepypasta, but not just any creepypasta, but the newest edition of Appy, as seen on the Creepypasta Wiki. Plus, that sexy apple makes my massive amphibian penis harder than Drew Pickle's cock whenever he sees a manager. Ha ha ha. Anyways, here's the story. I am February 23rd, 2011. Sometime during 1999, after Noggin was launched, Nickelodeon had a new show on their program called Appy. It sounds like some nursery rhyme that a babysitter would sing, but it wasn't. It was a short show, 10 minutes, and was normally played with duets, making it 20 minutes, including commercials. A month after it premiered, it was pulled off the air, and all copies were destroyed. Well, in the Nick archives, they were. Some VHS copies survived, but what was really rare was an intact DVD copy of any episode. When I did some spring cleaning recently, okay, winter cleaning, but who cares, I found old 1999 DVDs with Sharpie on them. They read HA 1 to 10. I did some research, if you know what I mean, and found out that those are the initials for Appy. In the comments, they said that there are no DVD copies around, which is false. So I decided to put them into the disk drive, praying for them to work. Well, they did, and they instantly cut to the intro. By the way, I really haven't described the show, haven't I? There is this giant clay apple with hands and feet. He helped children when they got hurt. But as the show progressed, it just got creepier. Like, death stare and evil smile creepier. By the 8th episode, he wasn't even a clay model. He looked like CG, but wasn't. A very good animation. Also, I must mention that each minisode is split up into two 5-minute acts. There are 20 acts in total. The intro song had the same tune as the Silver Shamrock commercial from Season of the Witch. It went something like this: Appy, said 3 times. He helps kids all day! Anyway, enough with that. Let's describe the actual show episodes. Episode 1 and 2 were called Happy's Vacation and Hurt Happy, respectively. Happy's Vacation was exactly what you thought, Happy going on vacation and helping injured kids. Hurt Happy was Happy getting hurt and the kids helping him. In both acts, nothing seemed out of place when I first saw it, but when I saw it a second time, it looked very odd. While Happy was driving his van in Happy's Vacation, some frames were skipped. I ignored it, saying that it could be a scratched DVD. But when I checked it, it wasn't scratched. Probably the animation. Also, I noticed some out-of-place objects in Hurt Happy. In Happy's van, there was what looked like the Order of the Hope poster. Also, the radio plays Hot and Cold, which was made in 2008. But I thought those were just coincidence. No. Episodes 3 and 4 were stranger. One moment that shocked me was the boo-boo scene. Happy aids a child that has a bruise on his knee. He looks to the camera, death stare on face, and says, "What do you need for this boo-boo?" For 30 seconds, he stared at the camera, motionless. Finally, he spoke. "That's right! A Band-Aid." Why did he need that long to speak, I don't know. The intros were cut out, and the main episodes were missing a few scenes. Episode 3, 512, is when he does the first death stare / evil smile. For 30 seconds. It was somewhat eerie. Also, the OOP objects were getting more noticeable. There was a news broadcast about a tsunami that recently struck Japan. Happy said, "Oh no! If you want to help the Japanese, call this number." And a 1-800 number was listed. February 24th. I watched episode 5. This episode was very violent. Episode 5 had Appy doing his trademark death stare for half the show. Afterwards, he helped 2 children. The first one he took out of sight behind a bush. Blood is seen from the bush and screams are heard. The other kid waits for Appy. He's seen emerging from the back of her, then it skips frames. Next thing I see is a blood trail leading to another bush and Appy doing that damn smile. Episode 6 showed Appy doing a death stare, but it was hardly viewable. Then, it went static for the rest of the show. I couldn't believe it. I moved on to episodes 7 and 8. This time, the episodes were so violent, so badly made that they couldn't have been aired on Nick. Episode 7 had Appy take a kid into his van. Flesh cutting could be heard, and so could blood splatters and screams. Then he emerged, doing a death stare from 9:21 to the end of the show, or 10 minutes. Like I said, episode 8 had him be a CG-ish monster. But this was so coincidental, I couldn't believe Nick would even allow it. It starts out with Appy going around the playground, acting off. How off? He was walking like he just murdered someone and had that damn smile on his face. He heals a kid, but as he does it, blood splattered on his face. Behind him was smoke, and he turned around. Two towers, 9/11, mentioned in 1999, folks, were burning up, with people falling off. The tail of a plane could be seen sticking out of one of the towers, and it broke off, hitting someone. When the kid asked Appy, "What are the towers doing?" Appy turned to the photo in the top right-hand corner and said these three words, "That's natural, kids." I jumped out of my seat. Was Appy a death bringer of some sort? Or was he a master predictor? I had to continue. Episodes 9 and 10 were up. February 27th. Episode 9 was corrupted. It started up, but the whole thing had no audio, and the first part was so messed up that it was hardly viewable. The next part was just plain static for the rest of the video. Great, 2 missing episodes, I thought. 10 wasn't. It started with some weird, offbeat carnival music. It started with Appy still looking like what he did in episode 8. But this time, as the episode went on, his CG-ish model looked worse and worse. Like, injury worse. He was in his van, driving against the road that looped on and on. Eventually, he reached the playground. Many children were at play. Appy looked like he was ready to kill all of them. Then, he said, "Hey kids, who wants to see Appy do a magic trick?" The kids cheered and ran into his van. He then closed the door and drove off. After that, he came back, smiling like he just killed them all. I couldn't take it no more. For some reason, Appy was making me feel nauseous. But I continued. The remainder of the show, before the credits, was in reading the news with future events that didn't happen for a long time. Examples were 9/11, the 2011 earthquake, the Libyan riots, the death of Michael Jackson, and the SS Columbia disaster. Meanwhile, there were random breaks, which showed a behind-the-scenes look at him realistically murdering a child. At the credits, Appy was holding a knife, covered with blood. The camera shot down where there was a table. A hand with cut marks was visible. Then, it cut to a blank screen with white text. "If you get these DVDs, I copied Appy over to them. I wanted to preserve this so that they weren't lost and damaged." Now you might wonder, how did Nick allow all 10 episodes, or 7? I don't know. They just did, that's what. If you want to know more, see me. KC. KC? Was that my friend, Kevin Costo? Well, he did say that he worked with Nick until the end of the millennium. I decided to visit his house. When I entered, Kevin wasn't home. His wife was sitting, crying. I asked her what happened to Kevin. She replied with something that shocked me. That damn Apple took him to a place. I don't know where. Take this picture. I took a picture of Appy during the natural scene. He looked badly scarred. Before I left, I asked her how did it get on Nick. He drugged the producers. He was going to. That was enough. I couldn't bear to take it anymore. I left the house and drove off. When I got out and looked at the picture, I heard a gunshot and screams. I looked at the picture again. This time, Appy wasn't in the photo. And I swear I just saw Kevin Costo in the bushes. March 3rd. Hey. I wanted to know if anyone has any Appy videos. If you do, send me the link to one. What happened to mine, you ask? Well, I found them in pieces, and I found a note saying, "No more evidence now," huh? June 6th. Ah, crap. I've been having nightmares of Appy since my last post 3 months ago. The dreams range from Appy's smile to him brutally murdering a kid. I have seen him more, whether he's sitting on a mountain or grinning in a forest. Appy never seems to leave me. I boarded up my house today. This will be my last stand. I will kill him and rid the world once and for all. I hear a bang on the door. I will be back. June 11th. I'm at the local elementary school, the only place nearest here where he won't find me and also has a computer. It's been 5 days since my last encounter with him and my house is gone. Burned to a crisp. The strange thing is, no one seems to notice. It's like it's invisible. But at least I'm safe here. Rustling. Rustling? I don't like the rustling. Oh, look, it's my old friend Harold Kleiner playing out in the bushes. With blood all over his face? Wait, he's gone. The door's opening. It's in. Gotta run now. June 28th. I bought a new house today. It's 2 stories tall, and it's fireproof this time. One of my friends, Jim Forrester, actually remembered Appy. He said that there were more episodes I forgot. Turns out, the most violent episodes were actually at the end. The entire series was supposed to have 25 episodes, plus a TV movie. No one mentioned it, because Jim had the only surviving tapes. The series got more violent slowly. He sent me a disc with fragments of Appy episodes. Here's what they are. The first starts out with a school bell ringing. Appy is standing next to a kid. The kid says that he can't understand math. The teacher said, "Class is dismissed." Then, Appy sings a math song. It is distorted, but I could make out these lyrics. 2 minus 1, and then your homework is done. After that, the kid says, "Wow, thanks Appy." The next fragment was one of the more violent episodes. They were mixed clips, but here's what happened in order. 3 kids were crying so loud it was almost painful to see. Appy and 2 other kids were trying to help them. The kids were crying because their families were gone, they died. The 2 kids comforted the 3 other kids, and they left. But Appy had this weird, perverted, nearing the orders of greediness expression. He said, "Come with me." The 3 kids followed Appy into a building. He then left it with bags of money. The 3 kids were screaming for help again. There was more to be seen. There was one fragment of a somewhat violent episode. Appy was putting a bandage on a kid's arm. In the far corner of his pocket, a needle with green fluids was seen. Appy then put the needle into the kid, knocking him out. He then dragged him into his van, and a chainsaw was heard. The DVD just stopped. The end. Ha 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 ha. I got to go to the movie theater and do some swell stuff. Goodbye.